Chapter 12 Week 12, If not now, when, and if not you, who? Preparations for graduation. So, if not now when, and if not you who?
First off, let me start by congratulating the 2021 class for bearing with us through this course and being able to retain, explain, and discuss the fundamentals of grant writing 1101. Allowing for the proper attention necessary for the best presentation for the energy invested in its development, we felt this was perfect timing. We have a lot invested in success. This is our year, as there is nothing standing in our way. Fair market value is all any could ask, but as we affix our brand, prices rise, but so does the difference between an individual with a limited scope of experience and a group collective where a wealth of knowledge can assist in more adequately addressing a situation. I made a mistake, and it won't happen again. I stopped in the neighborhood I grew up in and stopped by to see an older acquaintance of mine. I sat as we talked about this and that where he dwelled on a room in his home which his wife wanted painted. He had me call a mutual friend to see if his nephew, who is a professional painter, multiple times to no avail. He said he had everything necessary, but he just didn't feel like doing it more than once. He said, anybody can paint, and I retorted, no, anyone can put paint on a wall, but not everyone can paint. Long story shorter, I arrived the next morning, rolled a coat on the wall, cut and painted at the top and bottom trim and baseboard, put on another coat and moved the furniture back into place but certainly off the walls. After cleanup and awaiting payment. Longer story shorter, I received 2/3 of the price I said he owed after I completed the work. When he asked, now, what do I owe you? He said, if I'd known you were going to charge me that much, I would have done it myself. Let me remind you that he is a 72-year-old man with bad knees. It is 2021, no one is trying to get rich on an old friend. If anything, the price I gave was too low and he tries to get me to do work for him all the time. I don't care if I told him it was free, he'd say it was too much. His wife brought me a box of food with 4 packs of frozen chicken legs, 6 boxes of macaroni and cheese, 2 large boxes of raisins, a bag of chicken patties and 2 bags of apples to donate to our food drive, which I thought was nice. The box of food alone was worth more than I got for the job, so she was the happy customer, not him. Where did I mess up, you might ask? I should have told him, perhaps not initially, but somewhere after he was confident that I was able and available to spearhead the labor invested in painting the room and estimate for time and cost to complete the job and be out of his house as soon as possible, so he could get back to living. So, estimating material, time and labor costs, just answer what it is, where it will be located and why it should be granted. We are the who, and now is the when. I went down to the boat dock in Milk Park, and it looked like a disaster area. Not that it was anything real elaborate, but it worked. Now, it looks like a storm came through. The current pushed all types of debris on the landing, and the dock, which once had room for 12 boats to dock, currently can only dock 1 at a time. So, writing grants is just saying the following: who, we the Red Carnation Club, will, what, construct a 12-space boat dock, clean debris from landing and paint new parking lot lines on the landing. When? May 6, 2021 to May 9, 2021, where? Martin Luther King Jr. Park at the boat dock. Because, why? In order for the boating industry to continue to thrive in the city, ports and docks should be as clean and welcoming as possible, and in its current situation it is not encouraging at all. Take pictures of current conditions, and draw up a petition where business owners in the boating industry may sign, if they feel there should be improvements. A petition just states that the names affixed below feel a 12-space boating dock should be constructed, debris should be cleaned from the landing, and new parking lot paint should be painted on the landing for the boating industry's longevity. By signing this petition, we agree that the situation should not fall of the residents of our just incapable government. Always remember to thank whoever desk the burden of our concerns fall on for their time and consideration, because they say, you catch more flies with honey. Just find things wrong and address who will do what, when, where and why. The difference between our why and another's is what gets us granted a task before another. The why can't be for the money though. We only get granted what we will be happy doing for a fee. Only half of the motivation is economic, while the other, first and foremost, is intertwined in our purpose of making lives more livable. How could the marina think 12 boats on the dock before the storm could be left at only 1 after the storm? If they hadn't began planning the renovations to making life more livable, let us be the first to point out without complaining what we would do to the marina's boat dock, if we were in office and had the power to address public concerns. It's no one's fault for the storm, but if we leave things as they are, we may well just let the laws of nature overcome the laws of man and forget about justice and equality. So, X will do Y at Z and T, because of R, where X equals who, Y equals what, Z equals where, T equals when, and R equals Y. Not that the cost is more of an issue than the purpose, but any complete proposal addresses the numbers. There are some who only know numbers, and they are just waiting on the bottom line where, if we don't submit a bid, no further movement will be considered in our case. Basically, estimating costs and time have to do with carefully and accurately adding and multiplying a workforce, material costs, and installation time. No one wants to spend more money than absolutely necessary, and no one has any extra time to spare, so let's not try to put any unwanted stress on the client for whom work is being performed.
You win. What's the bottom line?
For distributing $75,000 at $19.98, plus tax, and shipping and handling, the gross income will be $1,918,300.